After a days-long siege, Israeli soldiers left a trail of damage inside one of the remaining medical lifelines in the area when they retreated from Kamal Adwan Hospital in Beit Lahia. Local authorities reported that at least 30 people were killed in overnight attacks on the city, as the IDF continued its murderous attack in the north, which UN human rights official Volker Turk called one of the conflict's darkest moments. Troops stormed the hospital last week. Although the IDF left the hospital on Saturday, the attack went on outside. According to local officials, Israeli airstrikes destroyed multiple homes and killed at least 30 people, including in the Al-Khazan area of Beit Lahia. The Director General of Gaza's Ministry of Health, Dr. Munir Abdullah al-Bursh, claimed that Sunday's attacks on a residential structure in Beit Lahia buried large numbers of people, and he accused the Israel Defense Forces of firing at rescue workers when they got closer. The IDF has been contacted by NBC News for comment on the charge. Residents were left using their bare hands to search for survivors, according to al-Bursh. We have asked them to transport any injured to the nearest hospital by any means available, whether on a cart, a tuk-tuk, or any other accessible means, he continued. Only 3 doctors were on duty at Kamal Adwan Hospital on Saturday, according to Gaza's health ministry, while hundreds of patients, medical personnel, and displaced Palestinians who had sought refuge there had been held by Israeli forces. An NBC News team's footage from inside the hospital saw fallen furniture obstructing doors and corridors, medical supplies, blankets, equipment, and ceiling panels strewn all over the floor. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the World Health Organization, described the situation as catastrophic, citing the shortage of personnel to care for nearly 200 patients. Reports of the health facilities and medical supplies being damaged or destroyed during the siege are deplorable, he stated. Only 3 hospitals in the region are having difficulty operating, including Kamal Adwan. The IDF stated it had assisted in the evacuation of patients from the area and that its operations were based on intelligence regarding the presence of terrorist infrastructure. Regarding the incarceration of medical personnel, it made no remarks. The midnight bombs in Beit Lahia, which targeted Hamas militants and infrastructure, were described by the IDF as a precise strike using precise munitions. The IDF did not disclose specifics on these targets, and NBC is unable to independently confirm the information. The local health ministry reported on Sunday that Israeli strikes on residential houses in Beit Lahia killed at least 87 individuals last week. The IDF has surrounded hospitals and refugee centers in northern Gaza, forcing tens of thousands of Palestinians to evacuate and raising worries of a deliberate starvation campaign. The most recent attacks come after weeks of heavy bombardment of the region. Acting Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs Joyce Msuya of the United Nations stated that the entire population of northern Gaza is at risk of dying. Israel's offensive in Gaza has resulted in over 42,000 deaths and nearly 100,000 injuries since Hamas militants stormed southern Israel on October 7, 2023, killing about 1,200 people and kidnapping another 250. During a meeting in London last week, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken was confronted by Jordan, one of the United States' closest Middle Eastern friends. Blinken was informed by Ayman Safadi, the country's foreign minister, that Israel was ethnically eradicating Palestinians from Gaza. In front of reporters, he addressed the American delegation, "It has to stop." The CIA and Israel's Mossad directors will meet with Qatar's new prime minister in Doha on Sunday to begin fresh talks for a short-term ceasefire agreement in Gaza that would see some hostages released in return for some Palestinian inmates.